Good. Good to hear that. All right. We good? Live. Got all the other shit going. This is a rough one. Day's good. Stream subjects aren't that fun. Alright. Yeah, shit's working. We're gonna hang for a minute. And then we'll get to it. Keep it the bouncy. Okay. Everything else is good? Yeah. Alright. I don't know what order we'll tackle these topics today. I don't know much. Most of the time I swing from the hip with most shit I do. Today, though, I don't know how far. I don't have much time today either, so it's going to be a weird one. It's going to be a weird one. It's never a flattering camera angle. If I sat up straighter, it is. I mean, who wants to sit up straight and have, like, good posture? Losers, that's it. No, I do need, like, I need a better rig for all this. I did, like, reset up this space, so I should be able to... Oh, God, the light changed. Should be able to do slightly better setup for an art stream, which is kind of nice. I think I showed it before. So now I have a desk space, right? So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna let a couple folks in here before we go at it. One of it's just celebrating a legend, which is really cool. It's very sad, but really cool because I like seeing these celebrations, even if what causes them is sad. And then we gotta talk about this fucking hashtag, which even saying that I feel like a nerd. Okay. Alright. But no, I'm gonna give us more time, especially since we got this bitchin' fucking jazz going. Kind of jazz reggae mix. I'm a happy camper there. Now, I don't think you can... No, there is no way to communicate with me through Twitter. But now we're live on Twitter as well. Because guess what? Twitch banned simulcasting, so... Kind of knew that was going to happen sooner or later. You already couldn't do it if you were like a Twitch partner or whatever, allows you to monetize your work. So I knew that shit was coming. So now we're on Twitter. I actually don't feel too bad about that though. Just would like this to be up there, please. Can we do that? Is that like possible? I did it. All right, cool. Because we're going to be showing some stuff and talking about some stuff. But I'm still going to give it some time. I have about an hour and 15 from right now to get in, get out. So we'll see. Alright, well, I don't think anybody's going to come on in today. That's fine. It just breaks my heart. I'm all alone on this one. Alright, I still got coffee and it's neutrally warm, so that's all I need. That's all I have. Oh, perfect. That's that. There you go. That answered where I should start. Oh, do we have something respectful? Yes, this will work fine. So, as many may have heard, the ever iconic legend that is John Romita Sr. passed. He was 93. Iconic in one of the most iconic Marvel Comics artists there has been. Hell of a passing. But again, I'm always happy to say someone passed in their 90s, especially when it comes to comics. That's more of a rarity than it should be. Most well known for Spider-Man. There are some absolutely incredible and iconic shots, but he's worked on many other things. It's very sad to hear his passing, but I am super grateful for his work. It's, yeah, let's, oh, I didn't turn on any of that. I'm not even ready. I'm not even ready. That's disrespectful, Cody. Let's get all this shit going. I forgot to turn on all the things and the stuff. There we go. That's my bad. Yeah, this stuff. Wow, we don't need another new voice box. It's functional. Pardon. The tone is correct. Mute this or just pause it? I just paused it. Skip track?
As you wish.
Skip track.
As you wish.
I mean, I would listen to it. That's a little... we'll go with it anyway. But nonetheless, please, take your time to... If his work resonated with you, or even the work that he inspired. Again, a legacy and a career as long as Romita Sr.'s was. It's incalculable the amount of influence he had on shaping what comics are today. And so, take your time and take just a couple moments and share, either with me, tag me if you'd like, or, just publicly share your resonances with their work. It's a bit morbid, but it's one of the most heartening things. It comes from a place of sadness and loss, right? But it's one of the most heartening things I get to see on social media is the effect that one's art had on people, and it's a sad fact that it tends to not come together from multiple different sources and stuff at a big time, except during a passing. And I would love to see it before passing, but I'd rather see it period than not at all. So please go ahead and share that. I can't pick anything directly that I loved of his work. Wasn't a big Spider-Man guy. Still not a big Spider-Man guy. I'm sure he worked on X-Men as well. But that's before my time. I'm more of his son's, a fan of his son, John Romita Jr. But it's tough. And we are losing many legends in all artistic fields, but comics has just continuously taken some whacks and some losses recently. If we don't take time to celebrate those resonances, celebrate the legends, then those currently working and not being celebrated and that deserve to be celebrated have very little chance of being celebrated as well down the line. Ritual is important. Let's take your time. And again, I'd love to hear any stories of their work, but there are a million different shares and such. So check it out. Take your time. I'll throw the link to this tweet into chat just so it's easy to find later on down the line. If you want to share in the mourning, the grief, and the celebration of John Romita Sr. Alright. I still want to stall a little bit for the main course here. If I may, because the main course is not very fun. But it's something that needs something I'd like to... Oh, am I really not, on YouTube right now? Oh, there I am. What the fuck? Okay. No, I'm there. Okay, good. That is working. Good. Okay. So is there anything else? Why was I in here? Oh, caffeine brain. And then I ate a bunch of birthday cake this morning for breakfast, which is super healthy, and I recommend. God. But no, I had a good day yesterday, and cake was the easiestly accessible. I'm not going to say a form of nutrition, but a form of energy I had before I did this. So, okay, that's all good. Skip track? Oh man, band's on today. What can I do here? Because we're going to talk about a rough hashtag that ended up being even rougher. It's a complicated situation. It's weird came out of it, but there's a... That's the tact and faith part of this title. And I guess the easiest way to phrase it is people can sniff out an opportunist very quickly, and if it's an opportunist within a emotionally sensitive space, whether that emotionally sensitive space was self-inflicted or not, you gotta pick your battles. What can I say about this before we just kind of rip the band-aid off? I don't really want to rip the band-aid off even. I'd rather be a bit more, again, tactful about this. Because it's just an overall disappointing situation for me. And of course, what matters most is what I think. Well, you know what? I'm going to do some work in the background while we wait. It actually is comics work, but you guys can't see it. It's sensitive information. Okay. What can I do here? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's what I need to do. Okay. Email. Not that one. Oh, that's my phone. Why is my phone talking? Why is my phone talking? Oh, God. Oh, shit. Well, that's some good news. All right, so let me get that. In fact, that's a different comic work came up, which is great. The Jack 4 is printed and on its way. That is very cool. So here, I can show this, right? There's no sensitive info there. Nope. Monday the 15th, around that time. So I need to actually send that to our fulfillment folks. Wonderful Wicked Publishing. Boom, 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 boom. I need to get that tracking number for him as well. Let me get... So let's go over here. Oh, pardon. Pardon. How do I get, like, is that the tracking number? Never worked with the UPS there. Yeah, I think that is the tracking number. Okay. Very problem. Excellent. All right. But that's good news. Okay, I like that. I like that. Holy heck. See, I don't even know if I want to touch this subject as more than I did already. Just, it sucks. Like, this is how I touched it besides my own personal accounts, which I was trying to get to the rougher stuff, and Twitter wouldn't let me send it on Monday because I punctuated each of my thread with GIFs, and it just would not send it with GIFs. Or the other one too, without the GIF, but quote tweeting an older thread, so that the threads were linked so you can read the whole story. It's frustrating. Twitter's frustrating. Still what I understand the most, but
Oh, hi, tiny visitor.
look at this thing. Look at this thing I found. Well, I guess, again, found me like most of my critters. Look at it. He's so cute. Over here. Tiny, cute thing. Look at it. It's Nico Robin. She's joined the family very well, haven't you, baby girl?
Hi, sweetie. Thanks for visiting. Tiny cat.
Oh, you want the mic? You got something to say? Or just something to destroy, huh? Yeah, tough girl. Okay, go have fun. Go find your sister. Yeah, that's been another thing. Cause I ended up with having to liberate a cat. Me and a buddy liberated a cat from a hoarding house, which is fun. That's my thing too. God, how do I needs to be articulated properly. Skip track. Skip track. Yeah, I could deal with this. I can deal with this one. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, shut up. What do I want to articulate it? I mean, I articulated it pretty properly with that small thing. It's just you got to pick your battles. But more so. God, how do I even want to do that? The comic books industry, like, oh, here, let me see what I already did. We'll go from there. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, here's something cool I can show too before we move off of Mr. Romita completely. Wonderful piece by the ever incredible illustrator Monk. It was a tribute piece to Romita Sr. It was his favorite era for Spider-Man stories. With Gwen and Doc Ock, of course. Very cool. That's a beautiful piece. Well, looks like some folks are here. If you would give a sound off, I'd much appreciate it. I want to make sure everything's working. Every time I take over a week break from this thing, I never know what's working and what's not. But if you're too embarrassed, I understand. Thank you for tuning in even for a second. Because again, I don't even know what my audio levels are like. I know the mic's moving, so that's my hope. Hopefully the balance is good between music and my voice. Again, I don't know these things. Gosh, I don't know how I want to articulate this though. I guess I'll go back to what I need though. Let's go. Was I smart enough to bookmark it? Probably not. But maybe. If not, I know how to find it actually. Oh, I was. Okay, good. Good man, Cody. So this was the thing I wanted to talk about. Now I've done this. I've been basically vlogging here on YouTube my entire comics journey once it actually like hit the ground, right? Some damn fools convinced me that it was a good way to market and to grow an audience and all that, and it is. But the platform I've built myself, it's understated, let's say. Twitter's the one that is not for me. It's where I found the most success on it, so that's where I want to share it. But I want to do an overall stream on this at some point as well, my personal journey, which I've done before. You look up the Long Road to Jack Irons 3, and it covers a lot of this. It's like a 3-hour stream where I actually took the time and I broke everything down and I hit all the notes I wanted to hit, and I tell that. There's been more since we are now almost through number 4, so there's a whole new chapter to that story that still needs to be communicated. But that chapter's not done with, and I want to wait to communicate that till I feel like I can do it fully and honestly and without hesitation. This, however, is some of that, right? Comics is hard. That's what this freaking hashtag was about to begin with. Comics is fucking hard. It's an industry without money rolling through it that demands extreme effort and passion to survive it, where the rewards are few and far between, where the imagination of creators is consumed by corporations and utilized to make funds that those creators could never see in their lifetime. It's not a pleasant medium thanks to the societies we live in. It's a beautiful medium for storytelling. It is my favorite medium for storytelling. Boundless in its capability to communicate thought and idea and emotion and joy and fun.
Scott K.
All these things.
Said, I'm not dead yet.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Thank you for saying howdy too. I just wanted to be. I'm glad that's working. But apparently, so there's an angle to this that hopefully I'll be able to work the courage up to discussing. And I say hopefully. I don't even know if I should. But we'll get there. But from this, right? This is the bit. That's a big one. And I didn't even get to the rough ones. I didn't even get to the rough ones in this because I was going to get to the rough ones right after here. And every time I quote tweeted it, well, it says there's a quote tweet. Ah! It wasn't from me. It's from this very kind individual. Because I wanted to get there because I was just about to get to basically the start of the journey. This is the pre-ramble of this journey, right? Because you have to understand your steps to it to understand like what it would take to quote unquote break you. Now this is as a phrase, it's inflammatory. I don't think it actually broke a lot of people. It may have broken their heart, Jack Kirby style. It may have led them to a negative financial situation, again, Jack Kirby style. But if they're around to complain about it, they ain't broken. They just may no longer be in there. But as an opportunity to share the horrors of a business that is focused on swallowing art and spitting out profit from a ever-dwindling customer base. It's rough. Oh my god, is it rough. My story in here, I just wanted to give some footing, and that's as far as I got. Because there are some points where even before I kept going, like I had stopped. The most notable, like in this part, is when I was submitting to publishers and got no response. Not even a, oh, this isn't good, or a, you know, this is where it could be improved, or anything. They didn't have time for that. There's too many submissions, or there's a legal thing about it, or they just don't care, right? I don't know. But that's heartbreaking. Um, and it wasn't always that way. But times change, right? There's a really rough thing that, again, almost broke me out of comics, which I have discussed more and more. Well, not more and more, but I did discuss in length when it was occurring, because it almost got me to walk out of comics. Because at the time it occurred, or the revelation of it occurred, and the vulnerability which it exposed, and the stupidity, oh, that's mean to myself, the naivety that exposed within myself, which I love my naivety. It allows me to have hope and faith, but in that case it reminded me, yeah, you can't, there's lines you need to draw. But at that time, going through the grief I was, so much more, and having done haven't put effort into the thing already, and it was past the point of no return on that particular expression. It was rough. It was rough. That was the hardest one that almost broke me, but it had to do with my judging of character and things that I couldn't even know. More than anything, it was a lesson, but a rough one. That was comics. Dealing with artists, and particularly dealing with the internet, which I still don't know how to wrangle, so I'm very tepid about it. And before I lean into support of folks, I have to, in my heart, feel it's okay. And that didn't work before, but it's still the best judge I got. And then there's been an ongoing business relationship that I've had trouble with for a while, but hasn't been, at worst it's been neutral, at best it's been very good. So, you know, whoop-de-fucking do. A lot of people have a lot more trouble with those kind of relationships than I have. Comics is tough, and I think there's a particular creator who engaged with this hashtag from the point of talking down, even though he thought he was lifting up. And when you approach an emotionally vulnerable situation, a melting pot of already anger and broken hearts, and maybe even self-anger because you let yourself get taken advantage of, right? Things like that. And you expect that talking down is going to work. At the same time, the repercussions that occurred to that individual, I can't quite judge. Again, I've tried to look into the situation as far as I can. They're not done pouring gas onto it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try, because I want to understand how this occurred, because in terms of scale of what I've seen for social media canceling, it was very small, which makes sense for independent comics. We're tiny. But that it could affect on that level is surprising. And the only thing I can say again is you have to pick your battles. You have to step back and breathe and try and approach any emotionally vulnerable situation with a true perspective. And in social media, 99% of the time, instead of trying to use it as an opportunity, you should just drive away. You should just keep going. Like, it's fine. You're not going to add much to the conversation. Like, even what I did here didn't add much to the conversation. It was just me venting on it because, yeah, I have a resonance with people who got hurt through this industry. But I'm also very grateful. I tried to put a lot of hope in here. Just funny that, like, every time I tried to continue the thread the way I wanted to, it wouldn't allow me to. And now what I did isn't even saved as a draft, so if I want to keep going, I'm going to have to start from scratch again. Which kind of tells me maybe I should just leave it. And people can come and watch that 3-hour discussion, like the entire journey. But, I don't know. I don't... How do I phrase this? Because I do understand. I was going to say I don't understand, but I do, to a degree, understand how it occurs. I guess it's a great... I wouldn't even say disappointment. There's a melancholy that comes to me with the realization that there are some people that don't realize they consistently are seeking out conflict. Particularly in an artistic space, where that conflict does not need to exist. It can, absolutely, and some people thrive on it, but it doesn't need to be there. And when I see that conflict not being of a benefit to those individuals, it's even worse, right? Like, you're not even getting anything out of it. It's easy from the outside looking in to recognize those patterns, I guess, and it's a lot harder from inside it to recognize it, but it's nonetheless, again, it gives me a melancholy. It's sad. It's I wouldn't even say it's pitiable, because I think it's hopefully a lesson that'll be learned, but it's not fun for me to see. It's not something I enjoy. It's not a good thing, in my opinion. It's not a good thing like this thing. This thing's a good thing. This tiny little cat. And Comics Broke Me was a great vent and a way for creators to be warned of the devouring nature of the business end of this artistic expression. It will take everything from you. If you're not smart about it. I'm pretty dumb. I've been very dumb about it, especially on the business end, because I'm a very much things will work out kind of guy, which things do work out, but you take a lot more lumps doing that instead of like, this is how things will work out. I will make them work out. This is how they're going to do it. It's regimented. It's lined up. It is a tactical mission in which you embark and hit certain checkpoints. Me is like, I got an idea of those checkpoints, and they will get hit as they can be hit, which is, again, comics goes and easy flowing. It's not great for a business, but it allows me to survive. So I'm not mad at it. It also becomes heavier on the heart. Issue number 4, like we're gonna talk about, Comics Broke Me. Issue number 4, the entire process, the time it's taken, and just the weight of my new job and how things have come. Like, it's all together, and the fact that we raised the most money on the least customers, which that bothers me just as a concept, and that it still was not enough, because again, I flow, so I'm just like, oh well, this is a pretty big goal, we probably won't reach it, and then we reach it and it's still not enough, is frustrating. The fact that it's still getting done is incredible. It's part of the inherent tenacity of our work, which I am just so proud of. But it's not sustainable, and that's what breaks my heart. That breaks me a bit. It's like I'm just looking at this system over the last half decade I've been doing it as a business. And yeah, surviving half a decade in indie, I should be relatively proud, even though it's only 4 releases. You can say 6 if we count the rest of the imprint. And if we count the other like side releases, side stories, and other bits that we've had, it could be more, could be less. The body of work within a half decade isn't prolific, but it's also not too shabby. And the fact that it's continued to happen, the financial backing that it has received is impressive, if not, again, sustainable. Uh, but it's a very hard industry that you would think would be getting stronger, and is not, because people don't want to read. It's plain and simple. Particularly kids don't want to read. When you're raised on an electronic device with movement and all of that, you don't want to read. When you don't even want to sit through a whole movie in a lot of cases these days. It's 30 seconds of somebody doing something goofy, and then another 30 seconds of somebody doing something goofy, and then 30 seconds of somebody saying something controversial, 30 seconds of somebody doing something illegal, right? It's yeah, the culture has shifted, and I think there's a beautiful place for this medium, this art, but it will probably not get more sustainable. Particularly for smaller creators. If you're able to utilize a separate platform, and this is a side hustle to your overall brand, I think you'll be okay. In fact, that's what I've seen. People are fine who use it as a side hustle, even though it's presented as the main hustle. Bothers me just on a moral standpoint, but nonetheless, I don't think it'll break you, because it's not your sustain, it's not your base, it's not your foundation. It's the icing on the cake that makes you feel better about the work you do. I've seen that very much so. I think there are niches, and I think there are paths to sustainability in comics, particularly when you liberate yourself from the industry and create your own small cottage niche. That's still the goal for what work I'm trying to do, but it's a tall mountain. When I sit at the foot of it, or even partway up it at this point, I look up, you can't even see the top yet, right? Like, this is after a half a decade of grinding. It's not counting like all the other time to work up to a point where it was a business, to get to that foot of that mountain. Long drive to get there. I've seen all the horror stories of how these talents have been taken advantage of, or you can phrase it, let themselves be taken advantage of, or there's a lot of different ways that it could be perceived, that are different variations of being very kind or being very harsh. And I saw what happened when you went to that with a tough love kind of mentality, quote unquote tough love. Again, I don't think you try and carve opportunity for yourself out of other people's pain. I think that's, whether or not intentional, you're gonna get trouble for it, thank goodness, in a lot of ways. Not for this individual. I don't think they deserve what they got at all. But the fact that I don't like opportunistic bits, right? Like, I try not to do that myself, because sometimes it can work out very well for folks, but nonetheless, there's a feeling of taking advantage. I don't want to take advantage, There's some cases I wouldn't mind, but something like that where it's emotionally vulnerable, I don't enjoy. But I don't know, folks. I wanted to hit some notes here. I didn't want to talk too much about it directly, simply because anytime I've wormed my way into controversy or tried to even just like calm a fire, it's never been terrible for me, to be honest, but it's again, it's opportunistic. I just like, you know what, I had one other take on this hashtag. that did not get much appreciation, but this is my take on it. This is the other one. This was kind of the main thing. So, skip track.
As you wish.
That's better. The fact that we love this medium, the fact that it resonates with us, the fact that it means so much to us and so many others, doesn't mean it's a necessity. And within the society and systems which we have built over millennia, necessity comes first. It's kind of a Nadoy kind of deal. And at a time where things are getting harder and harder, necessity takes that much more of a higher priority, right? And as that happens, the unessential, particularly niche things lose priority. And when they lose priority, there's less energy to go around. When there's less energy to go around, things get crueler. My hope is that they don't have to be crueler. Again, that you can look at these things, you can learn from them, and then take steps forward with that better and stronger perspective. And if we all do that, you can forge a better place. That's always been the case. It's never been easy, but it's always been the case. And we only do that together. An individual who tries to carve a better place always makes it that much worse. And a mob, and I'm going to use that word very specifically, a mob that tries to make a better place also always makes things worse. And there's a balance and a set footing in between that, where it's many individuals doing their own thing with the same goal, not a guided fist trying to accomplish something. But that's the bit of comics broke me. Really bothers me that this industry is like that. It's not surprising. Business as a whole is cutthroat and can quite often, especially when more and more money comes in, can be a force of evil. You can quote me on that. Force of evil. And when you try and face that darkness with light, you're gonna get pushback. But if it's many candles instead of one bright one, you have a better chance. And my goal with the work I've done has always simply to make the space better and to say what I need to say, what's been in my heart for a long time upon gazing on all of this and living and breathing and existing within this dimension, this reality, this life. Trying to break it down and understand it, and that's all I've ever tried to do with Jack Iron Steel Cowboy. And with IronVerse Comics, it's been trying to allow others to do the same. However I can, whether I am actually capable of truly helping them achieve that or not. I hope I am. I would love to be. But that's unproven. But I've never, not once, well, that's not true. Not 100% true. But I've never had an active campaign to stop something within the space. I'm supportive of everybody surviving and making the space grow. On the surface level, there are some people who I think further fracture the space, and I think that's not great. I don't think that's actually a force for good, but it's just like people I do not like. Like there's a vibe there that I don't, there's people I don't like. Everybody's got that. But I've never ran any active, try to hurt anybody. That's not my goal. There's some folks I wish would. No, I don't even wish. There's some hard truths I just have to bear. There's just some people I have to tolerate, right? That I, again, don't believe make the space better. That's as far as I've ever let it go. Because again, I don't. Ain't nobody got time for that. Not true, but I certainly don't.
Here to serve.
Oh well, thank you. Oh, he turned off the music. Oh, that's exactly what else we got. Let's try it over here. Well, something a little bit more upbeat, please. 12:12. Cool. I got a half hour. Excellent. But that's my bit, guys. Like, if you're diving into an emotionally sensitive position and expect tough love to work, especially with modern day adults and sensibilities, you did not think before you left. There's a million ways you can be perceived, and if you're perceived as being opportunistic or what have you, it's not going to go well. And I really hate seeing hardworking, good-hearted people take those big losses that they did not have to take. Simply because, again, they said the wrong thing at the right time, or the right thing at the wrong time, I guess is how it should be phrased. And in a less tactful way, and then leaned into that, and then responded to their critics, and then it became, these things only blow up when you let them and fuel it yourself. They very much quiet down if you don't feed it. Not every time, but if something like this, when you're leaning into it and saying, no, I'm right, again and again to many other people, you don't have to acquiesce. They don't deserve your time. Like, it's that simple. If you're that much heart and belief in what you said, then that other stuff should not matter. The dissenting opinion should matter. And engaging with them shouldn't matter. You said your piece. But, it bothers me. It bothers me greatly. But it's not my battle. I try and pick them wiser. This is one I'm picking because it hurts. It's a heartbreak to see that kind of shit happen. It didn't need to happen from so many different directions. Again, nobody cared about this take, right? It wasn't a hot take. It wasn't a super you go girl kind of take either. It's just an honest take from me. Is, of course, learn from these and do better together. Unite, don't fracture. And
Scott K.
It's rough.
Said, I've been sick and all this stuff happened and I'm trying to catch up.
See, yesterday I was at a birthday party all day. I know a lot of this started on Monday, I'm gonna say. Maybe some of it on Sunday. That's when I engaged with this hashtag. And I say engaged. Again, I didn't get much traction with anything, so which is fine with me. My point, again, is to just put my voice out there. Whether or not it actually resonates or hits, none of my business. But yeah, I'm trying not to call anybody out directly on any of this because it just sucked. It just sucked overall. And like I just want... selfish. I just want to make sure I learn from it. And I want to deal with the small amount of sadness and grief that comes from seeing these situations manifest. That's all selfishness. I'm like 90% sure this creator's going to be fine for it. But again, pouring more gas on the situation. It seems like what they wanted to do since it happened. So... like, I just can't do anything but say, okay, good luck. If it makes you feel better, it makes you feel better. I'm not afraid to fight. I have a perspective in which I have very specific fights I will engage with. And once I do, once my foot is in the ground and I have drawn that line, I will not move. But I flow, man. I flow. I'm not going to be rigid and try and push the world around me. The world's too heavy. I will erode and guide down through it the way I can. But anyway, it's heartbreaking. A sleepy kitten. Want to see a sleepy kitten? I can do that. I like those things. It's the kind of thing I do. Sleepy kitten. Look. It's a tiny cat. It's the tiniest of cats. She's such a cool thing. I love you, Nico Robin. Nico. Yeah, she's sleeping. Sleeping cat. Like that's the deal, man. I have higher priorities. Comics and art to me mean so much more than business. Business is the backbone that allows it to happen, and it's the sleazy uncle that I wish I didn't have to deal with. In fact, I like that. There you go. I like that. All right. I don't know why I muted again, and then it didn't tell me. Let's put on some funk. I want to listen to that first. Wow, it didn't last long. Well, let's see what comes up here. Let's look for a good track. That's pretty groovy. Sorry you've been sick though, Scott. I'm glad. It sounds like you're maybe not through it, but have been moving through it. I don't know if you're here earlier. Jack Irons, issue number 4 has shipped out to fulfillment. So now I just gotta wait on the prints and the stickers to come in, and then see what else I think I can jump on right away to go with that initial fulfillment. And then we start fulfilling. Fulfillment's going to take a while because I still got to... The fundage isn't where it needs to be. So it is going to take some time, but we will be able to start getting them. I think we'll be able to finish the domestic, with what I have. It's the international, as always, that scares the living shit out of me. And I might have to call in a couple more favors, which I've had to do every time, which I don't like. Again, business is the, as I just sent out, business is the sleazy uncle art wishes it didn't have to deal with. So they'll figure it out. Always do. But it's, this has been the heaviest campaign to carry for me, man. But it's almost there! So, once the load is taken to where it needs to go and is dropped off, like, maybe I'll have a better perspective of things. But yes, I'm so excited for that. So that's the good news today. I needed good news. Should be there Monday. Monday. We'll have the books there. I'm excited. They came out really, at least if the proof is any clue, they came out really cool. Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait till people get their books. Like, oh yeah, I forgot I backed this. You took so long. So yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Sorry. But I don't care. We got it to you. I have no right to be in this business. Dude, yeah, we've done it every time. No fucking right to be in this business. But here we are. God bless. Thank you all for helping it happen. Wish I had something fun. So I just was talking about this rough thing that I've experienced the last half decade called the comic book industry. I mean, tiny kitten. I'm glad she's here. Sleeping.
Sleepy kitty. Oh, she's so tiny. Oh, I woke you up. Yeah, tiny cat. Tiny cat.
After 4 is over, you get to switch to the CO pilot chair.
Well, I'm excited for that part. Yeah, I am, and I'm kind of curious. Like, I would like to fight a different front, and I know it's a lot of the same front that I've always fought that I can assist with, but it's again from a different perspective. You say the co-pilot kind of deal, and I am excited for that kind of breather. I'm excited to see how people receive 4. Again, every issue has meant something very deeply to me, and I want to see if any of it will resonate with other folks. And with the digital, I didn't get much feedback. In fact, honestly, through all of Jack Iron's history, I haven't gotten much feedback, but when I get it, it means a lot to me, whether it's a negative, a positive, what have you.
Thanks for following.
Heyo! What'd you follow? On Twitch? But I'm not live. And I can't simulstream. Or is it on Twitter? I don't know. Wait. No, okay, that's from 9 days ago. Yeah, because I can't simulstream on Twitch. That's the other thing anymore, because Twitch, like, killed that. Twitch is doing a lot of shit. But they killed simulcasting, so you can't, like, I can't be on Twitch. So now I'm on Twitter again now. And that's fine with me. I'm going to miss Twitch. Because we were so close to the 50 followers and all that stuff. I still might do my gaming streams on Twitch. So if you folks are interested in that, that might be how I pivot things, is that I live stream the gaming stuff on Twitch. And then I download the VOD, right? And then I re-upload it to YouTube. It just sucks that I have to splinter my admittedly small already platform, right? It's a little bit wider. I already had to do that before when Restream changed. Like, you could have up to 5 platforms you were streaming to at once. So I fucking love that. And that stopped. But now it's harder for me to utilize Twitch, and I like Twitch in a lot of ways. I might still be able to, like, simulcast to, like, Kick, which I guess is one of the alternatives. So maybe I'll check that out. There's a lot of the digital end of this business that I also want to, so when I can breathe and not do the comics so much, I want to redo the website. I want to redo a lot of these platforms, restructure. I want to, the website's a big one. That one's like, it not only is a big project, but I think I can present things clearer. I think I can make things feel slicker, particularly more modern, as you'd say. Now we have more content. I can restructure how it's presented so it's easier content, because believe it or not, our website still gets views, which is incredible. I'm so glad for that. Like, passive viewership, people do visit it, which is really cool, because, you know, I never really expected that. Our Patreon, I really want to restructure. That's a big one. That's the other big one, is the Patreon. Those are the two I really want to hit, but I'd like to do that on all the digital platforms that are, you know, represent the comic book imprint. And I'd also kind of like to pivot towards some more, like, personal platforms as well. I think that could be of great use to myself, because I've always used these more personally than perhaps I should. Why is it the same song? Go away. Oh, it's not. It just was the same measure repeated again. There we go, something a little bit more jazzy. But yeah, I don't know. But it's cool, man. Shade came and followed. It looks like it's through YouTube, so much appreciated. But yeah, I'm excited to have less of the impending business end, the guillotine business end over my head, and more of the passive structuring business end over to carry. I would like to do that. And who knows? There's a lot of other things. Again, I've been doing music a lot more, so I'm excited for that to move forward. I've had many other ideas I'd like to hit that somewhat do with this, but have more to do with my overall intention with what I'd like to do for the artistic sphere in general. There's an idea I'm, like, pretty excited about, but it would be a big leap of faith. But I'm at the age where, like, you take one of those or you're not going to get another chance towards the end, right? To be fair, though, I mean, you do. I have much time left, hopefully. But the sooner I get to it, the better. It's past the point of, like, feeling things out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. You folks should expect some art streams soon. I'm looking at the figures right now for Jack in the box. I'd like to do those streams. I mean, it's about 7 hours of streaming. I need to do 7 hours of painting. I need to do to get the Jack figures done again. That'll be fun. I haven't painted for a while. And again, I have a better setup, hopefully for streaming, painting in particular. I'll probably do something very similar to what I used to do when I do the rest of the sketch cards. Need to do that as well. And that's probably about 7 hours at least of streaming. But that's, 14 hours of streaming ain't that bad. If I wanted to, and to do some very poor quality art, I could do it in a day, right? So it's doable. But those should come soon. As we start shipping and doing the fulfillment, I think part of the quote-unquote marketing bit will be me finishing that and then shipping those out. I'm excited for you folks to get this. I really am. Came out cool. I'm always surprised we get this done. Terribly surprised, honestly. I think we've done something of quality. The other thing I might do is I might have a surprise to make sure all of this goes without a hitch. Because I have a couple options to do it. I can call in favors, I can sell things. Yeah, those are the couple options. But the sell things is wider than perhaps people would think. So yeah, I don't know. Came out beautifully though. Said what I wanted to say. I'm always in disbelief from looking at this thing. Especially since it's goofy and how much I love comics, that I get to be a very small part of it. Very cool. Even if it does lead to breaking. Like, again, I've had a rough go of it, like many, but just not as bad. Yeah, I gotta get out of here in 15, so I guess I should call it. We've been at about an hour. I would like to stream more, but like, I've hit all the points. I'm kind of on the rambling in general now, which I like, but loses its point. Alright, can we get a different measure there, please? Oh, I don't even know what that is. That's something good? I don't know what that's from. No. I did put some more jazzy stuff in the background. So this will work. Yeah, folks, I don't know. Don't let comics break you. I mean, the things that'll break... Again, I think it was very hyperbole. But I'm sure some people really did like it. It hurt. It hurt, it hurt, it hurt, right? And I hate that that's a thing, but this is art in a capitalist society. I'm not saying we have a viable alternative either. Like, that's the bit. In fact, most alternatives would not even allow the concept of it. So, the best we got, but it ain't good. And if you're not doing something essential, you have no guarantees. And that's the sad fact of it all. And the higher up in terms of status and well-known IPs within the human sphere of imagination, the tougher things can get one way or another. The more sacrifices you may have to make, either morally or physically or mentally or financially. It's rough. It's rough. And it doesn't have to be that way, but I can't point towards a instant solution, except for everybody do the best they can and just have faith that as time moves forward, if everybody's working the best they can and learns from what's happening before, then maybe we'll forge something better over time. That's my goal. And I've kind of seen that over the years already. So I have great faith that in time it could get very much better, or it get significantly worse very quickly. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I don't have anything else, do I? Just glad that's working. That's good. force from there. Talked about the shipment. Be ordering the prints and the stickers and stuff today. Cat over there snoring, the older cat. Or is that the tiny cat snoring?
She's so sleepy.
She's so cute. I love this cat. Yeah, I don't think I have. That's confusing. God, just gazing at social media is just like, oh my god. I don't know how I survived this long. It's so antithetical to so much I hold dear. Yeah, I'll just chill for a little bit longer with you folks. Yeah, there's some upper news, a lot of downer news. Well, not downer news, it's just downer concepts. They're losing John Romita Sr. That sucks. But that he reached 93, incredible that he had such a prolific career in, again, this inessential industry we call comics. Ooh, fucking amazing, wonderful. It's a career that should be extremely celebrated. It's very cool it happened. And how much incredible art that humanity got out of the individual. Very cool. And I hope he had a good ride doing it. What's going on here? Pretty angry. What we got? Ooh, we're going to the beginning of that track. I can deal with that. I could fuck with that, as they would say. I don't think I have anything else, folks. It's that classic time where I'm just kind of vamping and stream of consciousness.
Oh, tiny cat. Sleepy tiny cat.
Tiny sleeping. She's sleeping while I'm picking her up.
She's so tiny and sleepy. I want to hold you.
Oh.
Oh, Bobo. What is it? Where is it? Yeah, that coffee breath. Sorry, kid.
I guess to sum it up, find a strong place to stand upon for your art. Period. It's what you need to do. If you can't find that strong footing, it will break you. Art is a forge, and you have to be strong to make anything out of it. And strength does not just come from will, it comes from the fuel of will, it comes from belief, it comes from ideal, it comes from heart, right? That's where you'll find it. You will not find it in finances, you will not find it in networking. You may find it in someone, but you won't find it in business. That's for me. Maybe some will, but that's the bit, folks. Don't let comics break you. Don't do comics. Just don't make comics. No, don't make them from a place of hedonistic dreaming. Like it's not your ticket to getting rich. It never has been. Even the biggest creators we've ever had aren't rich off of their bit. They may be well off, but compared to that fabled 1%, they ain't nothing. Nothing. comics rewards are not financial. Sometimes it's enough to carry you, but they aren't financial. They're in making art. And if that's not enough for you, it's gonna break you. If it's enough for you to sacrifice certain things to continue to get work for a bigger corporation that just wants to swallow your imagination and regurgitate product, maybe look at it that way instead of this is my big ticket. No, it's a corporation that wants to swallow your imagination and again spit out product. It's not, that's not how they're looking at it, folks. It's not. It might be how your editor looks at it. It might be how the head of your company looks at it. But the company that owns that company, that ain't how it look at it at all. And that's where the money is like handled, right? That's where the living is handled. You can't do that.
I know, Tiny Cat. I'm gonna keep bugging you, though. You're too cute. You're too cute, Tiny Cat. You're too cute.
What was it? 1:15? Yep, we'll call it there. I appreciate you folks very much. Miss Nico Robin appreciates you, even though she doesn't really know you. Yeah, I know, I'm bugging you. And I'll see you folks later. I don't know when. I guess I hit the notes how I could. I went into this with the intention of diving maybe a little bit harder, but at the same time, it doesn't need it. I just needed to, what I usually do with these streams, I just needed to voice thoughts. And whether or not others find it valuable, it's great if they do. If they don't, part of this whole thing, there are hundreds of hours on this channel of just documenting the journey. It's whether or not that'll ever be of any value to anybody but myself. It would be great if it was, and I hope it is. But if it's not, it has value to me, and that's been the same thing with all of the art I've ever done. It means something very greatly to me, and that's all it needs to be. I would like it to be more, and sometimes it has been more. A good chunk of the time it has been more. But again, find that foundation you can stand upon that is unshakable, that gives you the tenacity to plow through, that gives you that stubborn arrogance that lets you say I am, and lets you scream into that void. You gotta find that. If you ain't got that, you ain't got much in art. You might have enough. It's not. It may not carry you through every storm, unless you got a hell of a ship you built. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful time till I see you next. And find the things you love. Find those things. And let them give you perspective. Perspective is invaluable. It's survival incarnate is perspective. If you cannot see the greater picture, you cannot steer your ship properly. Guide yourself by the stars and make sure you're looking at that ocean as well. So I'll catch you later. Vaya con Dios. Please go with God. Take care of yourselves. Have faith. Keep moving forward. Gotta keep moving. Time doesn't let you do anything else. All you can do is lie to yourself and keep yourself in a rut. Yeah. I guess I'll end now. Appreciate you folks. Maybe I'll stream again later. I'd like to beat Bolt Gun, but now that I can't simul stream, it might just be on Twitch. So if you're not on Twitch and you like the gaming streams or you want to come and hang out, you may have to migrate to Twitch for that kind of content, unless you don't mind watching the VODs later, which I would appreciate as well. I think that's how I'm going to have to transition things. That or I'll just stream on YouTube for that, YouTube and Twitter. Just would hate to abandon Twitch just as we were getting very close to monetization on that platform. That's frustrating. Well, I would have had to anyway. part of the agreement when you get to monetization is that you stop it anyway. So I guess it's just crossing that bridge beforehand. Anyway, I keep rambling. Coffee, caffeine, I love it. It's also detrimental to thought processes. So anyway, catch you later. Okay, cool. That's working. All right, this is working. There's no sound. Oh well, that makes sense though. I do need to do some more trailers too. That's another thing I should do. So I've got a lot of things on the list that need to be done still. Oh, Cody. All right. Let's go here. Please check it out on Indiegogo if you haven't already. This is The Recluse. Get on signed up. The 5-page preview is live on Global Comics, as well as has been sent out to our backers. So it is out there. I cannot wait to see the full work myself. So here you go, folks. Adios.
Thank you.